What if I told you that somehow, some way, one of the strongest weapons in the game has been under our noses this entire time? Not only is it one of the best weapons inside of regular Crucible, but it turns out it's one of the best weapons inside of Trials. And simultaneously, it happens to be one of the best counters to, you guessed it, cheaters. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a weapon that is no stranger to any of us, but 100% an exotic that I think many of us have forgotten about, and that is the Telesto. Yeah, listen, I heard about this while running Stack with, of course, our friend Stacks, and he was saying how Telesto was actually low-key meta. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought Stacks was absolutely smoking something. One of the best players in the game, but I thought at that moment, this man has got to be smoking something. Because Telesto, it just hasn't been the weapon since its reign of terror back inside of Forsaken. And I think many of us forget how good Telesto was back then. You see, it possessed this beautiful ability of being not only a 780 charge time fusion rifle, but it would hit 49 damage per bolt, making it absolutely cracked, and it shoots crystals. So just for a refresher for those that may not know what this exotic fusion rifle actually is, by the way, this ornament is this like dreaming city looking ornament, as if this weapon couldn't get sexier, man. But the exotic perk found on this weapon is Unplanned Reprieve. Fusion projectiles attach and detonate with the Delayed Void Blast. You see the physical crystals that are attaching themselves to the walls, to the ground, to the enemies. These are essentially all booby traps. You got a guy that's trying to slide through with a shotgun, boom, Telesto's gonna kill him. You got a man thinking he's gonna be able to sneak behind you? Not today, sir. On top of that, the crystals themselves have a good long duration, and they got a good spread. So even if you don't necessarily kill a guy that's trying to get the flank on you or trying to push you, you can get some damage on them, which does one of two things. Number one, it freaks them out. They're like, oh God, is there more crystals? Which probably spurs some flashbacks of when Telesto was actually meta. And number two, makes them pretty easy cleanup with the primary weapon. Now, the trait found on this weapon is Harbinger's Pulse. This actually states that multi-kills with this weapon immediately reload your equipped kinetic and energy weapons from reserves. Very nice for running and gunning situations. Not necessarily something you're able to take advantage of too terribly much inside of PvP due to the fact of ammo economy, but Telesto has always been like one of those exotics that is probably the best weapon to pair with Nezarec Sin when it comes to PvE. Low-key, keep that in mind for my Warlock mains out there, which is why you see me using Warlock right here, because it just goes hand in hand. Now, the weapon also comes with a Masterwork, although again, the Masterwork is more or less a benefit to it inside of PvE by increasing the magazine size and inventory size. Pretty nice. Still spits out of orbs on multi-kills, so why the hell not? To be frank with you though, guys, I have no idea how to get this exotic catalyst. Can't even remember it. All I do know is that you finish it out with Brother Vance, and I only remember that because I did it the other day. Now, the reason why I pulled out Telesto, we are on Pantheon 2.0 this weekend inside of Trials, which is this beautiful map right here. Not a bad Trials map, but man, I was just getting tired of it. I was getting tired of the play style I was being lured into. It was either get a sniper on, stand in a lane, aka Revokerville, or use a mountaintop or Felwyn. I mean, that was pretty much your three options. Pick your poison. And I got tired of it. I didn't like the play style. And lo and behold, I was kind of reaching out, trying to find something a little different. A fusion rifle, perhaps. But fusion rifles have since been nerfed, or at least are high impact fusions, with most notably backup mag, which made me default down the list to old Telesto here. Now, Telesto brought about a playstyle that normally I don't incorporate. I run in one straight direction for the most part, and I don't normally slow down. But with Telesto, there was a lot of bait and switch, which made me rely actually on a subclass we have not reviewed in a very, very long time, which simultaneously also has been nerfed pre-season of the Worthy. Or maybe it happened season of Dawn. I can't remember it. But Nova War. Nova War has been a subclass that's been nerfed in its neutral game, been nerfed in its super, then got a buff in its super, but the super's still kind of poop. Neutral game though, guys, top notch. I mean, really, really. You want something to go hand in hand with the Telesto combination? This is it. Essentially, I would lay down Telesto shots, throw some of these crystals out, drop some traps on people, or just get a flat out kill with Telesto. And then the next round, people would want to push me. Naturally, that seems like the greatest counter to a Telesto user. Get aggressive, get in their face. There's a delayed explosion before the crystals actually kill you. So in the least, you can get a trade. This is where we have the bait and switch moment. For once, your man Cross is being somewhat tactical out here, and we're taking advantage of handheld supernovas. Now, handheld supernovas, I actually got a nerf earlier this year in February. It was like a combination of things that occurred: reduction in its range. They also tightened the horizontal spread of the bolts, also an increase there in activation time. You can also kill yourself now. Found that out last night. Yep, you can kill yourself with your own handheld supernova, and the blast radius or the bolt explosion radius also got a reduction. Okay, so a number of things occurred here. Long story short though, handheld supernova got a nerf in its girth, but its length and its range still remains the same, and it can still get multi-kills. You got enemies closing in on you 2 at a time. As long as you've got your reticle on them, you will kill them both. I'm blown away how good handheld supernova still is. You just don't see many people using it because most folks don't really rely on a subclass just for the neutral game. They want a super, but I'm here to say the Nova Warp subclass, guys, hands down, tier 1 in the neutral game. Both do the handheld supernova, the one-hit melee or nearly one-hit melee there with that atomic breach perk, and you also got dark matter, which ties into all of your abilities, granting you energy and health regeneration. Fellas, I know everyone wants a really strong super, but to me, at least in an elimination game mode like Trials, Nova Warp is not something to overlook, as majority of your fights and your rounds won't even involve a single super. Supers don't really start getting involved until the later rounds, and if you're getting kills and you're locking down your ones at every twist and turn, the other team won't even have a chance to get any supers. Long story short though, guys, this was a fantastic combination to roll with. This was by far the best loadout I've used inside of Trials this season, and I'm a Warlock of all things. Rocking it with things like Blink, being evasive. We actually did some carries last night with this loadout right here, and it worked phenomenally. If anything, Telesto really just threw enemies off. They didn't know how to react to it, because again, when was the last time you saw a Telesto? It's been a minute. Now, something I want to bring up about Telesto, because I know somebody's going to say, why not just use Bastion? And I get that Bastion 2 is a really strong fusion rifle. They're pretty much both in the same archetype, being a 780 charge time fusion. The difference is, at least on this map, where there's a lot of closed corridors, a lot of walls, a lot of places for an enemy to back up into something, like say some crystals that are sitting there stuck on a wall or on a pillar. This is where Telesto shines. Maps like Anomaly, to me, is where like Bastion really shines, as there's a lot of ways that people can just outright avoid Telesto and its crystals unless it's a direct hit. But Pantheon 2.0, where you have all these points here where people are converging, and these choke points allows them to always be walking onto these crystals. It also gives you just peace of mind in general. Again, if you want to use it as a way to close enemies off from say a flank, those crystals going off is something that can alert you to let you know when someone is trying to get the flank on you, thus allowing you to react. Now, Telesto is not as strong as it once was. As you're noticing, it is hitting 39 damage per bolt. It also does do 1 damage on impact per crystal. So essentially it does do 40 damage per bolt, allowing it to be a 5 bolt kill, which is very normal. Again, 780 charge time, extremely fast. Not the fastest, but again, if you're like me, I'm so used to using high impacts over anything else, whether it's Alantha, Arantil, Loaded Question, Gallant. You kind of get so used to like that 860 charge time that anything less than that, especially like 780, feels so fast. The difference is of course, the kill range. I mean, out of all of these weapons, not a single fusion rifle can match the kill range of a Telesto. I recently had Eddie in here inside of a private match, and I just wanted to see what Telesto can do. We tried it around 20 meters, 25 meters, 30 meters, 35 meters, and I just thought, no way in hell this thing is actually going to be able to stretch it all the way out to 50 meters. And lo and behold, it does. You see, guys, the crystals don't have any type of damage fall off. Even from this range, they are still hitting 39 damage per bolt. So yes, the cons to Telesto, there is a delayed explosion. The pros, there's no damage fall off. And even though it is doing less damage than what it was doing in Forsaken, we're talking about needing just 1 more crystal to get the kill. 5 crystals to attach themselves to the target versus 4. And that's going to kill most Guardians with impact damage at about max resilience or close to max resilience. Honestly, out of all the weapons we've played with here recently, especially for something like Elimination, I can't believe Telesto hasn't come up. As slow pace as something like Elimination is and Trials is, Telesto is a perfect weapon for it. How this weapon has slipped through is beyond me. And the fact that so many weapons are about to be sunset, Telesto is about to become one of the best options. And depending on the map, the strengths of this fusion rifle only get stronger. So I don't know if you are a fusion rifle user or not. I don't know if you turn your nose up to it, but as of now, in this sandbox and season of arrivals, our exotic fusion rifles are 100% meta, and Telesto is one of the best weapons to be using. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.